Good, eve- good evening, guys. I want to come to you guys with a word tonight. Coming from the book of First Samuel, chapter 8. The title for tonight is "If It's Your Will, Lord." If it's your will, Lord, I want it. If it's your will, Lord, I desire. If it's your will, Lord, I need it. It says, as Samuel, he was like the right hand man for God, and he was always leading and speaking to God's people and advising them on what to do. And it says that the people came to him and they told him, Samuel, you're getting old, and your sons who are our leaders that corrupt. We don't want them to be our leaders anymore. We want a king, as the other countries have. We want a king to lead us as the other countries have. It says Samuel, he became angered by them asking for that. And it says that God spoke to Samuel, and he says, Samuel, he says, don't be mad, Samuel. He says that you are not who they're rejecting, but me. He says they are rejecting me as they continue to do time and time again. And it says, if he says, let them know if a king is what they desire, he says they can have it. He says, but I want you to tell them this. And it says that Samuel goes to the people, and he says, Samuel tells the people, says in First Samuel chapter 8. It says, so Samuel told all the words of the Lord to the people who ask him for a king. And he says, this will be the behavior of the king who will reign over you. He will take your sons and appoint them for his own chariots and to be his horsemen. And some will run before his chariots. And he will appoint captains over his thousands and captains over his fifties. Will set some to plow his ground and reap his harvest, and some to make his weapons of war and equipment for his chariots. He will take your daughters to be perfumers, cooks, and bakers. He will take the best of your fields, your vineyards, and your olive groves, and give them to his servants. He will take a tenth of your grain and your vintage, and give it to his officers and servants. He will take your male servants and your female servants, your finest young men and your donkeys, and put them to his work. He will take a tenth of your sheep, and you will be his servants. Be careful what you pray for. I'm going to say that one more time. Be careful what you pray for. The people say they desired a king. They already had a king in God. They already had a great leader in God, but that wasn't good enough for the people. They wanted a physical man to be present to lead them. And it says that Samuel told them this. He said, "Hey, he's going. You want a king? You're going to have one, but he's going to take all of this stuff from you, and you're going to be his servants." And it says that the people still said, "Hey, we still want a king." Be careful what you pray for. Be careful what you pray for. Don't covet what another man has. It says they wanted a king because they saw that other countries had kings and led their people. But just because another man has something doesn't mean it's what's best for you. So that's my prayer. That's the message for you guys tonight, man. Be cautious of what you pray for. Whenever you finish your prayer, your prayer should end, God, if it's your will. If it's not your will, I don't want it. I don't need it. I don't desire. God, if it's your will, I want it. But if it's not, I don't want it. I don't need it, and I don't desire. You know what that means too? Sometimes the things that God allows us to have, sometimes the things that God allows us to go through, sometimes the things that we face, sometimes they won't be good. Sometimes they're going to be painful. Sometimes they're going to hurt. Sometimes that loved one that we are praying doesn't die and overcomes the sicknesses. Sometimes they won't. Sometimes they will be taken from us. Sometimes. But guess what? It was all in God's will. So your prayer should always end, God, if it's your will, I desire it. But if it's not, even though I want it, I may want it or think I need it. If it doesn't line up with your will, God, don't give it to me. That should be your prayer. I love you guys, man. Be blessed. Put your prayer requests in the comment section. And I'm going to pray that whatever it is that you put in the comment section or message me privately, if it's in God's will, it will be done. That's the message for you guys. Hit that share button and share this word with one of your friends who may not be mine. I love you guys. Man, be blessed.